Hey everyone, I wanted to talk about a distinction that comes up quite a bit in the conversations that I have. It's determining the difference between emotions and feelings. Now, a lot of the people I talk to either don't see a difference between emotions and feelings, or there's misconceptions about, we can control our feelings, or we, can control our emotions, or vice versa. There's a lot of misunderstandings on the two, and there's actually a lot of science to back up the difference. So, starting off first with emotions. So, emotions are involuntary. They happen with our subconscious. We can't control them, and they happen to, they occur, based on whatever circumstances we're dealing with, or what someone says to us, or what happens around us. And so they get processed by the brain before the rational part of our brain is actually able to kick in and realize what's happening. You will actually feel a physiological response before you can think about, oh, I'm angry, or I'm sad, or I'm happy. So the emotional part, we can't control our emotions. We can't control them from coming up. Okay? And the part that we can control is afterwards our reactions to our emotions. So if you don't understand the emotional process, or if you're not, equipped with a good emotional vocabulary or high emotional intelligence, then you may react poorly without thinking about it, and that normally leads to bad situations. So feelings, on the other hand, feelings are our thoughts about the emotions that we're feeling. It's what we think about those emotions. So if someone says something to you that triggers an anger response, someone insults you, okay? So it might trigger that anger response, and then you realize you're a little bit angry, and so you think about it. You're like, oh, I'm angry. I'm angry at what that person said because it means this or it means that about them or me, and then I'm going to show them. I'm going to be angry at them for a week. And then your feelings end up turning into moods, which is another choice about prolonging your feelings out into like a day, a week, however long you feel it's necessary to be angry, or whatever your feeling that you feel like you need to prolong. The problem with that is that the person that may have triggered the original emotional response is no longer around. They're not there to feel the brunt of your feeling or your mood, unless they're perhaps a spouse or a family member, someone close to you. If it's someone on the freeway, they cut you off, it triggered probably a fear response, maybe an anger response as well, and you're mad the rest of the day because that person cut you off. I'm just going to be mad. They don't care. They're at home drinking a beer. But you choose to be stuck in your feelings of anger or contempt, based on whatever you're thinking about those emotions that got triggered. So there's a clear distinction between emotions and feelings. And again, if you hang on to your feelings long enough, it'll turn into a mood. And if you stay in that mood long enough, then it ends up turning into a personality trait. And you're just always that way. I know people that have been angry for a very, very long time, to where they're used to it. They're used to that emotional state. They're constantly, triggered by those type of things, and you end up getting a type of high from being on certain emotions, and it becomes habit to feel like that, and feeling any other way feels foreign to you. And so it's very difficult to get rid of those things without going back to the base and realizing the emotional triggers that are happening, your thoughts about your emotions. Because thoughts can generate emotions. The brain doesn't know the difference between something happening now and us thinking about something in the past or imagining something in the future. Our brain doesn't know the difference. It thinks it's happening right now. And you can actually trigger emotional responses in yourself, remembering something or imagining something. It's very interesting the way that it works. And we can put ourselves in an emotional state. We can actually trigger emotional responses. And it goes even further, and emotions can actually trigger different emotions, and it kind of snowballs a little bit. Main thing to understand for yourself is that it's okay to have those emotions. They're going to be triggered. You can't help it. You can't help someone making you mad. The worst thing someone can say to you is, hey, promise not to get angry when I tell you this. Okay? You cannot make that promise, because they might just say that they killed your cat and you're going to get upset. So you cannot control the initial emotional response in your brain and in your body. You can control your reactions to your emotions, and you can control how you feel at any given moment. If you're walking down the street and you decide, you want to be happy, you just turn on a smile. It doesn't have to be like a crazy person walking down the street with a giant smile on their face. Like, you can literally just change your mood by like slightly changing your facial expressions. And your interactions end up being different with people when you walk around, with a slight smile on your face, as opposed to, I'm just gonna be like this all the time. I'm gonna just be mad. Why don't people come talk to me? I don't understand. I'm approachable. No, you're not. People need to be aware of that, energy that they're putting out there and the feelings that they have. So there's a lot of information about emotions. I've read several books on it. There's a wealth of information. But just summing it up again, there is a clear difference between emotions and feelings. And understanding that difference between the two can be a world of difference in your interactions and how you choose to be on a daily basis. We all know those people that choose to be sad every day, or they choose to be angry every day. I want to choose to be happy every day. That's my choice. Every day. Now, emotions are going to get triggered. We don't stay in that high state. I don't stay happy all the time. Stuff happens. I get cut off on the freeway and I get mad. And then I realize, okay, I got mad. I don't need that. I don't want that in my life at the moment. So I go past it really quick. Someone says something to me and I quickly, process it out and just laugh at what people have to say. I understand the difference. Like, really look at yourself when you're in certain situations and you feel that come up. A big thing to look at is emotional vocabulary, and that's something I'm going to talk about in another video. All right, guys.